Today are going to show you this model for blitz scaling your business. In the beginning, let's say that you tie up a territory, you have to pay a franchise fee, and then you put up some money to open up the first store. Year zero is really the first year that you buy a franchise, you're not actually open. So when you buy a franchise, it could take 6 months. The second year, you're actually going to invest that much money to build a new restaurant. Third year, you're going to invest less. And then at some point in this model, it's showing that after year 2, going into year 3, the business self-funds itself. Let's suppose that your goal is to take as little money as you can and over a 10-year period, grow it as much as you can. This shows that over a couple of years, so 0, 1, and 2, you're going to spend about $415,000 in investment. Everything else is going to be reinvesting your profits. And then as you go down to the liquidity event, we're going to show that you're going to build a business that generates a certain amount of profit. And then you're going to say, I'm going to sell that business someday for 5 times. A lot of Five Guys sold for 6 times, 7 times. I've even seen Dunkin' Donuts recently selling for 8 times. Let's say year 10 on this summary page shows that you're making $1.5 million a year. At that point, you're going to attach a multiple. I want to sell my business. Someone's going to pay you 5x. And then it'll show you basically how much money you're going to get on the sale, add back all the profit that you've made along the way, comes up with your total outflow of profit and capital gains. Then it shows your internal rate of return and your return on investment. But this is basically just assuming you buy a 10-unit territory, what the investment is, what the franchise fee is, the training fee per store. How much of it you're going to put in. You're eventually going to have a sales multiple of 5. You want to reinvest your profit, but you want to keep at least $50,000 cash on hand at all times. And then you're going down to your expenses. You're going to have roughly 26-7% food costs. Your management, your total labor is going to be somewhere in the 25-27 range. Your occupancy cost is going to be somewhere around 8%. Going to pay a royalty. You're going to have other expenses too, utilities and insurance and all that other stuff. You're going to show interest. You got to pay tax on your profit. This basically just shows that you're going to open 1 new store per year. You could speed that up. You could say, I want to start opening 2 a year. If you're setting out to build a business that's going to grow to 5 or 10 or 20 units, you have to staff for the volume that you want. Not only the number of people, but the quality of people. You should really hire, instead of just a restaurant manager and a kitchen manager, you should also get a director of ops. It's another $80,000, but that person will have a positive impact on your store. You're going to do more volume in your store to more than offset their cost, but you're going to really be incubating the team that's going to help you grow.
I just think what's really great about this model is the fact that, you can play with a bunch of different scenarios. We know not every single situation is going to be the same across the board. Maybe you live in an area with a little bit more rent. Maybe you want to open more stores sooner or later. Maybe you have higher food costs in year depending on your industry. But the great thing about this is just the ability to be able to customize and play with these different scenarios and seeing what the end result will lead to in a very quick, easy to understandable manner.
This is just more detail on the macro plan.
Like we mentioned before in the inputs, everything flows into this tab here. So you see your year 1 result, like any P&L shows broken up by year and your net income at the bottom here. But then what we really want to get after, like you mentioned, is how much cash do we have left over each year to be able to reinvest in the business, into future locations, because that's really what it's all about. You're really trying to go as fast as you can and be able to reinvest and have as many stores as possible. So anytime we make a tweak to the input tabs, all this will adjust accordingly, and you'll see just how fast you're able to reinvest, no longer have to invest your own money into the business. So if we make some tweaks on the gross margin, maybe you go faster, slower, but it really shows you a detailed plan of how that's going to work out.
This thing in green is really what I'm referring to as blitz scaling. Matt, if someone wanted to hire you to take this model and customize it to their business, how long would that take you?
All in about 2 to 3 hours, spread over, again, gathering the data, having a conversation just to understand the data, and then putting it all together. It shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 hours.
Great. And then, this, if it were me, I would hire someone like you to make this model for me from the get-go. I'd check in with you once a quarter for an hour, and then I'd check in with you once a year and just keep tweaking it. So even though I might have my own bookkeeper or whatever, bookkeepers are not forward looking.
They're rear view. They look in the past and see what happened. They don't really understand the ability to take what happened and interpret the information to make decisions to move forward.
You do bookkeeping and
I
accounting?
do bookkeeping at Virtual CFO. Again, I want to be able to equip business owners with the understanding and knowledge of their past accounting to be able to, again, make decisions moving forward and being proactive and finding opportunities just based off the results of the past.
Excellent. Well, Matt, we're going to put up your contact info on the screen so people can reach out to you. I think that this is a great thing. And I've been in franchising for 30 years, and I wish that I had this the day I got into franchising.